Hi everyone, my name is Teacher MJ and the videos that I'm making are intended for the secondary students of KIS International School here in Vientiane, Laos. If you are not from KIS, it's okay. I hope that you can learn something from this video. Currently, we are in isolation to protect ourselves from the coronavirus infections. However, learning never stops. So before we start this video, I'd like to make sure that you have the following things with you. You have your course book, your notebook, and a pen. You can watch this video in many places, but I prefer you find a comfortable place and I suggest you wear your headphones. You can pause the video to take down notes and repeat if you need so. If you have any questions, you write them down and don't hesitate to send them to me in WhatsApp so I can address your questions. So if you are ready, I am ready too. So it's time to study geography with Teacher MJ. Hi guys. Um, Thank you very much for your patience. We have some issues with Zoom the other day and I was not able to finish the lesson, mainly because my computer could not process all of you together. I have a very limited um, RAM and I don't know, it just doesn't work, but I'll be going back to just discussing things over YouTube so that you can have a chance to, pause and to listen again to our lessons. So let's proceed. I'd like you to open your books on page 26, and this is again about the exploitation of the Arctic. All right, so again, this is the Arctic. This is otherwise known as the North Pole. There is no actual landmass in the Arctic because it is dominated by an ocean, and it's called the Arctic Ocean. And if you want to ask the question, who owns the Arctic Circle or the North Pole or the Arctic Ocean? The answer is no one. No one really owns it. However, countries surrounding the Arctic Ocean has a claim to this body of water. We call it an exclusive economic zone, or EEZ. The exclusive economic zone is measured up to 200 nautical miles or 370 kilometers from the coastline of that country. So these countries are allowed to do activities such as fishing or any other economic activities for their country. The EEZ, or the Exclusive Economic Zone, is an area, again, that is given or to a country for them to claim activities as such as fishing, drilling, and, as I mentioned a while ago, other economic activities. And each of these countries that are here in the list has EEZ in the Arctic. It's very simple. If you take a look at this picture, from this point, this is the coastline going out to 200 nautical miles. That would be the exclusive economic zone. That means whatever activity they have, they will be allowed to do so. Okay? There it is. 200 nm or 370 kilometers from the shoreline. And out of those countries from the list, Russia has the largest claim, mainly because it has the largest landmass on the Arctic. 1/5 of the land that encircles the Arctic Ocean is a land from Russia, and half of the 4 million people living in the Arctic are in that land from Russia. So out of the 4 million, that's 2 million people getting their share of the Arctic Ocean or the Arctic Circle. Okay, and pause this video and study this photo. This is the view on top of the Earth on the North Pole, and this is the Arctic Circle. 1/5 of it is the landmass from Russia. Now, it becomes complicated because of the UN clause, or the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, that was founded in 1982. This law defines the rights and responsibilities of nations with respect to their use of the world's oceans, in this case the Arctic, to establish guidelines for businesses, the environment, and the management of the marine natural resource. So, what makes it complicated? In this law, guys, it gives an extension of the claim of a land until or further than the exclusive economic zone. When you sign into this, it gives you 10 years to claim an extended continental shelf. So from the 200 nautical miles or to the 370 kilometers from the shoreline, if you have signed from the UN clause, you will have an extended claim farther than the EEZ. So it can also give the country the right to any resource below the seabed. So imagine after 370 kilometers of claim on that area, because of the UN clause, your claim can be extended. So this is the EEZ, and if you sign the UN clause, you will have claim further than the EEZ, as well as the seas beyond that. Whatever is inside or whatever is below in the seabed of that area will be under your claim. So Russia wanted to get more claim for the Arctic, so they signed up for UN clause from 1997 to 2007. However, it has become very controversial, mainly because their actions towards claiming the land and the seas are almost out of control. In 2001, they claimed that the Lomonosov and the Mendeleev Ridge is a part of the Eurasian plate. So they claimed that, but it was not proven at all. So they are being questioned, why do you need to go there or to claim that, while it is really not proven that it's part of the plate of Eurasia, or the continental plate where Russia is located. Also, at the last year of their participation in the UN clause, Arctica expedition went down farther to the economic zone and the extra seabed and planted a flag of Russia in there. And they were trying to explain that this is just for us to check what are the type of soil or life there is underneath that seabed, but other countries are questioning again, why do they have to do that? And Canada is one of those countries who didn't like what Russia did within this law. Now, I have mentioned a lot of the word exploitation. It has a lot of meaning, but the meaning that we are going to plant in our minds right now is mainly the action of making use. Okay, when you exploit something, you are using it to get benefits from that resource. There's another meaning of exploitation, which is basically using too much of something, but we're not going to do that meaning. We're just focused on this. Exploitation is the action of making use of something and benefiting from the resource. So this specific to our lesson, we will be talking about exploitation of the Arctic. Now, my question to you in your activity last time was, why do you think Russia wants to increase their claim in the Arctic? Now, besides the EEZ or the Exclusive Economic Zone, why do they have to sign for the UN clause and try to do expedition beyond that? The answer is gas and oil. It is believed that the land or the seabed under the Arctic holds the world's largest remaining unexploited gas and oil. That means there are still deposits of natural gas and oil in the Arctic that are not touched by humans yet. And they believe, as per research, that it may hold a total of 90 billion barrels of oil. It's a lot of barrels, guys. And 47 trillion barrels of natural gas. As I mentioned when we talked about the sources of energy in our previous lessons, that energy or fuel is what a lot of countries are looking for, because most of our activities are basically fueled, okay? And these types of resources are non-renewable. So if all of these will be used and in the future it will be finished, then I believe that it's not going to be sustainable. Another problem that they are encountering in the exploitation of the Arctic is overfishing. Now, overfishing means that you are taking species of fish in an area of the ocean, and these species are now going into a decline or getting lower. And when you do overfish, chances are you will get a lot of bycatch. Bycatch means you are getting the fishes that you don't really need. So it's killing basically the fishes or getting the fishes that you don't really need. In the Arctic right now, there is a wide range of fish, and Russia catches 600,000 tons of fish per year. So what's happening is that fishing makes it difficult for the indigents or the local people in the Arctic Circle to do subsistence farm fishing. You say subsistence fishing, these are, or this is a type of fishing where you just get the fish that you need to eat every day. You don't sell it, you don't capitalize from it, you just get the fish for your own consumption. So because of overfishing, these indigents are not getting enough fish anymore. So there you go. So those are the reasons why Russia wanted to exploit or to use more space in the Arctic, because they believe that there are oil and gas in there, and another one is the abundance of fish found in there. So the question that we have right now in 2.3, which is in page 28, the question asks us, can Russia exploit the Arctic sustainably? Now, this question is quite complicated, but let's keep it simple. You can ask yourself, can Russia use the Arctic in a sustainable way? As it sounds more simple. Again, Russia has the largest claim on the Arctic Circle or in the Arctic Ocean, but they wanted to extend and to get more claims from it. Now the question again, if they would do that, are they using the Arctic in a sustainable way? So let's see. Now to review yourselves again about sustainability, I made it a lot simpler for everyone to know what it is about. So you just have to focus on three things: meeting the present needs, meeting the future needs, and not harming the environment. Now you can say that something is sustainable if it was able to achieve these three things. Now looking at a lot of things happening in the world right now and the usage of energy that we have and the amount of trees that we use, the amount of land that we are taking, I don't think that we are being sustainable, but there are a lot of people who are fighting for sustainability. Again, sustainability is a very crucial or critical issue, and a lot of people are very sensitive about sustainability. And the exploitation of the resources in the Arctic is also a very sensitive issue. And a lot of groups may have different perspectives and priorities on how they think it would be best for the present, for the future, and not harming the environment. And some of these groups don't necessarily agree with each other. So as an extension of our learning today, we will be meeting a few groups of people with their own views about sustainability in the Arctic. Okay? Let's see. All right. So this first person is named Aga Akicha. I don't know if I pronounce it right, but this person is a representative of the indigenous people called the Nenет community. And they view sustainability in this manner. They do subsistence fishing. That means they only take what they need. They have lots of reindeers as the source of their transportation in their pastoralism. Part of their pastoralism. He is 68 years old and a member of the Nenet community who lives in Yamal Peninsula. Her family own a small herd of 60 reindeer, which is vital for their survival. They use the reindeer's skin to make clothes and rugs and eat their meat. Fishing is also an important aspect of their lives, particularly in summer when the reindeer meat cannot be easily stored. Okay, so for them, sustainability is just taking what you need. They are more concerned about animals that live with them and to make sure that these animals are taking enough energy so that in time of a different season, they can use this animal for them to consume and to help them survive as well. They are living in the tundra, which is the very cold area of Russia, and climate change is something that they are very concerned about, because if it continues to if the Earth continues to get warmer, that means permafrost will melt and it will send out tons of methane in the atmosphere. And also, a lot of pollution in the seas can also circulate and go through the coasts where they live. So this is how they view sustainability. They are very careful, and they just wanted to get the things that they basically need. The next we have Sergei Limonov, and he is a Russian politician. He is 51 years old and he lives in Moscow, and he has the responsibility of overseeing the exploitation of the Arctic, particularly with regards to fishing and oil and gas extraction. He shares the Russian company Gazprom, which is responsible much of Russia's natural gas. So his view about sustainability is to make sure that everything that we do in the Arctic will be beneficial to the economy of Russia. They wanted to create more sustainable technology and share it with the whole world to achieve globalization. And they regulate the activities that are done in the Arctic. So further research needs to be done on which areas is too much exploited, which area needs to replenish, which area needs to be used for their consumption. So that's a way of him being sustainable. Do research, do regulate what is there in regulate whatever is going on in the Arctic, so that it would promote a balance of usage from this point to the next generation. And then last one, we have Jeff Sanford, who is an environmental activist. He is 36 years old from London, and he is a member of Greenpeace and regularly attends demonstration in support of the environment. He is also friends with some of the Greenpeace activists who were arrested in September of 2013 on piracy charges when they attempted to board on an oil platform owned by Gazprom, which is related to the other guy a while ago, and which is controlled by Russia. Now, his stance or views about sustainability in the Arctic is that more on not harming the environment. He wants to campaign about overfishing done by Russia. He is campaigning against climate change. He wants to promote the preservation of ecosystem and to prevent more noise in the ocean, to prevent oil spill, and also just to make sure that you are not using too much offshore oil reserves. What he basically wants is to make sure that whatever is going on the Arctic as an environment should be preserved, so that in the future it will continue to be at the same state and it will not be too much exploited. All fishes are taken away, oil spill are going. So that is what he wants to achieve with sustainability, or that is what his views are in sustainabilities. And as I mentioned, they have different sustainability views, and this guy is against whatever this guy is doing. And when they continue all of these things, the lives of this person also be affected. So as I mentioned, they don't always agree with each other. Okay? But at some point, they are presenting an important matter that they should be able to work together so that they can meet the present needs, meet the future needs, and eventually, and most importantly, not harm the environment. So I'd like you to further think about this. Can Russia use the Arctic in a sustainable way? In addition to what you have learned right now with all these three views of sustainability, I'd like you to click on the link that I put on ThinkWave. Um, you can copy and paste that and read through it and share your thoughts about this. Do you think really that Russia can achieve sustainability as they are using much of its resources? So if you say yes, then explain why. If you say no, then explain why. So think about the views of these three people I mentioned a while ago, plus this link that I gave in ThinkWave. So upload your answers in ThinkWave today before 9 o'clock in the evening. So please make sure, if you don't understand, you can send questions to me or you can rewatch the video, and hopefully you learned something new today. And I will see you on the next video. Thanks, guys.